Hey everybody, welcome back. Part two. I'm with Millie again. And one of the things that I wanted to pick up that we didn't really touch up in too much detail the first time is the idea of responsibility and empowerment, which I think are also sort of really important areas and valuable areas that people can sort of look into as part of their own personal process of enlightenment or of awakening. Um, one of the reasons why empowerment is really, I think, big for me also is that I've come from a sort of childhood where I had quite strict parents, one in particular, and I suppose the programming, if we're talking about unconscious programming that I picked up since a childhood, has become very deep and unconscious. And if we are really to embody our true, authentic self, find that much more joy and acceptance in life, and live our highest path, then getting in touch with one's own personal power and sense of who we are within ourselves is so important. So I guess what I'd like to sort of ask you about is what's your view on how people can start to approach that within themselves, start to feel that self-empowerment? Let's say somebody's sort of going about their life, they're very much sort of in the 3D world, they're doing what they need to do to survive. They're working, they have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of stresses, and they're finding that they don't, as a result, have a lot of time to kind of give to themselves. How would you say that people start to build a different relationship with themselves and really get in tune with the idea of empowerment?
It's a big topic. First of all, no matter how busy we are, and I used to be super busy. I'm a single mom, so always working two jobs because, I live in a country that is really harsh in terms of income, right? So I always need to find those ways, like to do several things in the same time, to be a single mom, to do everything on my own. Still, I would find time for, let's call that self-development. I'm not sure how to call it. So what I'm trying to say is no matter how busy you are, this is the very first step. And this is where responsibility really is, to find a way and to make certain decisions in your life, how you're going to make that space for yourself, for solitude, really, because solitude is such an important process in all this. That's the very basic, right? No matter how busy you are, you need to decide what's going to get out of your life, what kind of distractions. It can be a partner, it can be certain friendships, it can be certain habits. Instead of watching Netflix, for example, you can decide to do something else, right? So that's the very first step. And the second one, I will make it simple, just for the sake of kind of explanation, my idea. But of course, that topic is very deep and the entire process can last quite a long time. The second step is, it's not so much about the tools you're using and what you're doing. I would say that the very essence is to start working with your emotions. That's a huge one. Part of being a human is the story of emotions. And so far, we are being trained, especially males in our society, to avoid, repress emotions and what they feel, or suppress. And here's the thing, when you do that, they don't just disappear. They go into your body and into your subconscious mind. So you keep being a victim, right, of what you are denying, also part of shadow, and so on and so on. So basically emotional work. And to make it really simple, and then you uncover those layers like bravery, courageousness, empowerment, but it comes in steps. But the actual thing that you do is you're facing your emotions and you allow them to be visible to you and you allow them to let them play out. This is why I love the book of Dr. Hawkins. It's called Let It Go. He really explains nicely. All you have to do is to actually sit with your emotion for a change. You don't do anything. You don't go out. You don't distract. You don't do any of that, because what he says is like each emotion carries its own energetics. But once you allow it to play out and have that basic bravery to sit with it, it goes away and it dissipates. So that's how you're freeing yourself each day by each day by each day. And along the way, you're going to start experiencing different levels of consciousness, really. From low vibrational levels like fear, jealousy, and different kind of emotions, you're going to start emerging more and more and more that true self. And you will reach the place of courageousness, which is really the place I'm not afraid of my own emotions. I can handle my own emotions and then let them go, and after that it comes empowerment, and after that it comes clarity, and ultimately you reach the place of love. So but I would say it's definitely solitude, spending time with yourself without any distractions, and really being willing to see what do you really feel, because your feelings are telling you what you believe in, and they ultimately determine how you're going to behave. But entire process starts with the solitude, really.
Yeah, and that sort of self-inquiry of observing what's going on for you in any given moment without judgment, and then just allowing it to unfold naturally. I've felt that, in the past when, for example, sorry?
There are like certain common practices, that are being explored in many different philosophies and spirituality. And I agree, like this is exactly what I'm doing and what I have been doing last few years. So it's definitely the practice of forgiveness, right? Absolutely the practice, along with this emotional work, it's definitely the practice of gratitude.
Yeah.
For me, huge game changer, which for whatever reason I don't hear about that in channeling material, was started praying on a daily basis. Prayers are huge. That's literally you giving on altar to God everything that you don't need anymore, all that pain, all that suffering, you're releasing, and you're giving to the higher power to take it. So basically, we're talking ultimately about surrender. Surrender is like huge in all this. So yes, surrender practice. So those are like common themes, I would say, that's something that you just start living on a daily basis, along with this, okay, I'm sitting with my emotions and I want to see what's happening. So if you just start doing those kind of things, the shift that's going to happen to you is something that you cannot even imagine. And on a practical level, the things that I absolutely adore and firmly believe in are affirmations. Like every morning when I wake up, I spend like at least 30 minutes, often longer, while I'm drinking a morning coffee, to write my own affirmations. And then I speak them out loud, because your voice is so powerful, and it's one of the tools of creation in physical reality. So we don't create action. It's not just you acting and doing something. Part of the action is also incantation, claiming your I am, putting out that voice. It's vibration. It has its own magic, right?
Yeah.
So affirmation is a huge tool that I use on a daily basis. And if you think about it, like you can record them to yourself, you can write them down, you can speak them out loud, you can have them on your phone. So when you go out and walk your dog or running or whatever, you can, use so many opportunities how you can start listening to that. It's one of the ways how you claim your power back, your I am presence. That's ultimately empowerment,
So you're talking about transmitting the vibrations and the ideas and the concepts that you wish to embody. I think also it's about remaining in a state to receive them throughout your day, because if you're like, I don't know, giving all this amazing positivity off in the morning and then you have a shit day, and you're on a completely different vibration a few hours later, then you're not going to be able to sort of reach that which you sent out vibrationally before. So I think another part of it is constantly, maintaining yourself, checking in with yourself maybe in the beginning, every few hours, right?
Yeah,
Like, and
that's
you can receive much more easily the synchronicities, the positive synchronicities coming back.
yeah. Well, okay. I wanted to reply on two things here. First, when you caught yourself that you're in a really shitty right mode, as you said, this is where the practice of prayer and surrendering comes like a charm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need to be self-observant, right? You
Yeah.
know, and then you devote a little bit of that time for yourself, because that's self-love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, love yourself, show
Yeah.
yourself like 5 minutes and do this practice, right? So that can lift your mood up, for example, and you can just ask to be released. And there was another thing that you were mentioning, I forgot. So yeah, you're not fighting your internal energies. You just need to kind of notice, okay, I set one intention, but I find myself here. And then instead of beating yourself up, you cuddle yourself, you give
Mm-hmm.
yourself love,
Mm-hmm.
and you ask for release of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. It's funny, isn't it? It's kind of, if you get into a bit of a dip, shall we say, then as you say, it's about experiencing that in its full, loving that. And that is the process that actually brings one's vibration, one's feelings back up. Um, Whereas thinking, oh, I don't want to feel like this is horrible, that's just going to send you, or keep you rather, in that lower vibration. So it's about,
what
first of all,
it's,
noticing.
and it actually stays there. So you can
Mm,
mask with different things, right?
yeah.
By smoking weed or drinking or distracting yourself or go out and have sex with a random person, whatever, like to make yourself feeling better.
Yeah.
No judgment, you can do all of that, but you're not really solving what's going on.
Mm,
So really, it's that simple. Go out in nature. Nature is amazing healer. Just sit on a bench, for God's sake, and chill and acknowledge what's going on, and cry if you feel like crying.
yeah. Yeah.
Please, the amount of tears that we pour out is usually equal to the amount of resistance that we had. So
Mm,
that's okay to do, and then, just commune with the divine in
yeah.
whatever form. You don't need to always manifest. You don't need to always create something. I think that lots of people get locked in that, oh, I'm manifesting. I am manifesting. Like, chill, for God's sake. Like, that's kind of ego game a little bit too.
Mm, mm,
Sometimes you're not going to, my experiences, depending on what soul wanted to learn, really. Some people are going to get the script in life and experience where are actually going to be able to manifest. Actually, they're going to be able to receive a wish fulfilled, but wish fulfilled of their own ego. Some people are absolutely going to receive that. That's why we see some villains who are doing none of this, what we are talking about, getting everything they want.
mm-hmm.
But what some other people who are really beautiful souls, and you cannot even understand, oh my gosh, why this person is clearly suffering so much. Like, really, this person is experiencing so much pain, like so shitty situations in life, right? Makes no sense to our logical mind. But from the level of the soul, that experience is actually very valid,
Yeah.
because sometimes we get incarnations where our soul wants to learn things like compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot learn compassion if you get everything you want. The
Yeah.
pain is an amazing catalyst to understand what is really compassion.
Mm,
And it's the very base of the ultimate unconditional love.
mm-hmm.
And we talk about what this world really needs. it's really what all sages, all gurus are talking about. It is that love.
Yeah.
But love is not what we think it is. And sometimes love includes pain too. But
Mm.
it really comes down to compassion. Like,
Mm.
are you really able to feel and understand how is to, I don't know, be a slave? How is to be raped? How is it, just the knowledge, that shadow side of humanity.
Mm. Yeah. 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 And that,
So
yeah.
yeah, we are not, I guess I wanted to say is that yes, we create our own reality, but it's not like that we are always allowed to create what we want or desires of our ego. And I think that's why there is no mistake if we choose the path to cultivate the wisdom of our heart, really.
Mm. Absolutely. And we create our own reality all of the time. I guess the difference is, does that come from a conscious place or the unconscious, the collective unconscious, and
Mm.
of course, as you were saying, we incarnate, we choose maybe the country, the family, the situation we want to be born into to give us the best chance of being able to look specifically at the themes that the soul wishes to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's,
If I play imagination game, right? Why on earth did I decide that? I would say that I'm one of those wanderers, and it was confirmed to me that I came from higher vibrations, like, many of us who are watching these kind of shows, right? But I was like, my gosh, but why on earth did I choose so extreme limitations? Like, what is the point of that? Well, first of all, I definitely wanted to see what is my core value on a soul level. And I realized it's really freedom. So, of course, I needed to experience completely opposite from that. It's also, I know that clearly now. I think I was kind of advanced soul who had elements of arrogance, I would say. And I think I really wanted to learn humility and compassion, because when you're very humbled, you change,
yeah.
So on that higher level, I think my soul wanted to have that type of expansion, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm. Hmm. That's amazing. Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time and the discussion that we've had in these two parts. It's been really, really interesting. And guys, all those watching, I cannot recommend enough Millie's work and the stuff that she is currently producing. I think she has many ideas for the future in terms of maybe workshops and more magic books and other material that will be released. So look out for it. And I can also confirm that her meditations are to die for. So,
Hi, they
so
are.
thank, so I'll make sure that I put the links to various things that we talked about, including some books as well, in the comments below. Thank you very much again, and I'll see you guys all soon.
Bye bye.